Hey guys, welcome back to the Jet 4 podcast. Normally I don't start a podcast out like this, but I want to give a little context about where we were at, what we were doing, and the weird cut that's going to happen in the middle of the interview where it goes from an intro to us starting to talk about something, it cuts, and then an intro again, and then we kind of say the same thing over again. So what happened was we had planned to do this podcast at the beginning of the market that SOS Cotton Candy pops up in. It didn't happen. We both kind of got there late, and so in our hurry of them setting up their tent and me trying to set up all the podcast stuff, technical issues kind of happened. That's all I can say is they happened, and I couldn't stop them, more so because I wasn't prepared to stop them. And so this just goes to show that if you are planning to do anything, start a business, start a hobby, and you want things to go smoothly, you need to be prepared. Do your research. Make sure you get to places early enough and punctual enough so that you can set up and not be in a panic or in a hurry. And so you'll hear it come in, we'll stop, and then we'll come in back again with sort of the same thing. The missing audio, the missing piece from this interview was Sam and I playing We're Not Really Strangers, which is sort of an icebreaker game or a game to really get to know the person that you're playing with. It asks really deep questions. There's 3 levels to the card game. And it goes a little deeper every time you go to another level. And so the questions kind of start out the podcast, or they would have, and then you get to know him a little bit more, but instead we didn't have that much time to do it, and we will run back a part 2 with them. And this time we'll have Cassie in there too. So it'll be Sam, Cassie, and I doing a part 2 to this episode of the podcast. But without further ado, like and subscribe. Follow us on TikTok or on YouTube to stay updated on where and when the next podcast will be. And enjoy this episode. Thanks. Okay, welcome to another episode of the Jet 4 podcast, formerly known as Small Talk Creative. I'm here with SOS Cotton Candy, and we're just going to get straight into this. If you just want to give an intro about who you are.
Absolutely. So I am one half of the SOS Cotton Candy team. SOS stands for Savor Our Sweets. If you have a sweet emergency, send us an SOS. There you go. That's the whole reason.
Oh, actually, I like that. I didn't know
good,
that's what the reason was.
Yeah. Well, it's actually because all the other good names were taken, like What the Fluff and different things of that nature.
What the fluff? They do cotton candy too?
Yeah, over in Florida, What the Fluff. It's been good for T-shirts.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. I mean, we went through a lot of names, but we ended up settling on SOS because I think it'd be a good overarching brand. Yeah. I wanted to expand into marshmallows or candy or anything else. It could be SOS marshmallows, it could be SOS ice cream, it could be not that I'm gonna make that kind of thing, but it'd be, it's an overarching brand, which I think is pretty cool.
No, that is really cool.
I thought of that afterwards, but it worked out well.
What was the inspiration or motivation behind SOS? It was just I need a sugar emergency. SOS, give me some sugar, or
the name?
Yeah.
I honestly, like I said, we were Cassie and I, my wife, the other half of the team. She's unavailable today. She's more important than I am, and not here. So we were just throwing names around. I forget. We had selected a different one. The first order that came in was a different name, and I can't even think what it was now. Sprinkles, or they can do 2
Okay, I'm sorry,
so you can make it sour, you can make it spicy, or you can make it pretty.
Hopefully, I can save most of this podcast.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We just played We're Not Really Strangers, and we're just going to try and get back into it.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
Welcome back to Creative Talk, or Jet 4 podcast. We're in the middle of the Night Bazaar Market in Bryan College Station. There's a jazz player behind me. we're kind of set up for cotton candy already, but we're gonna try and talk really fast. So I'm sorry if like we just kind of like buzz through everything. But if you want to give a little introduction again,
just in case we missed it, I am Sam. I am the co-owner of SOS Cotton Candy. SOS stands for Savor Our Sweets. We are a catering, private event, delivery, cotton candy service in Central Texas. Now we are moving to Waco as well.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. There's a lot of driving, but so that's it. My wife is the other owner. She's unable to be here today because she is at her job and at our new house in Waco. So
wow.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
That's a little SOS. We started last April, so we've been in business a little over a year.
Yeah.
And it's been going really well.
Nice. So are you guys just around College Station now and now in Waco, or are you just going to keep it in Waco?
We're going to do both. We'll be, things like this, public markets will kind of be phasing out a little bit in College Station.
Really?
Just because if we are going to drive, we'd rather have like a guaranteed income.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I could come and sell nothing, and then I drove 3 hours round trip to lose money. So
no, that's
like it to be guaranteed if I'm going to come down. But some of the bigger ones, like Night Bazaar, like this one, I might still come to.
Yeah.
We'll see, and hopefully I can find somebody to actually like work it.
Yeah, it's just you and Cassie right now, right?
Right.
And
yes.
now Michael's helping out.
Michael's a good friend. He's got a full-time job over at the foundation. He's a fancy guy.
Okay, so I know a lot of information about you. I've been learning about the company for about a year now. I shoot around the area, and so I see them at markets. I see them at other places. So I've gotten a chance to know them, but I'll just ask questions that I already sort of know the answers to. If you want to give more like in-depth detail.
For sure, yeah.
So why cotton candy?
Why that's honestly like it's a tough question to answer actually, because it is a little random. So it actually all started. I was at a different job. I was in a call center. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated getting yelled at every day. Every call I answered, it was terrible. And I was like, I can't. I'm a positive guy. I'm a happy guy. Like I was getting bitter.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I gotta do something else. Like I can't do this. And so I was looking around, looking at different ideas, and a concession business is it works pretty well. We got a couple of them in the area. And so I was like looking up, and I was like, like cotton candy, like that's kind of cool. And I was actually talking to my mom about it, like just the whole concession thing. And she's like, yeah, there's a lady here that does Cotton Candy of the Month Club. So like every month she brings different flavors of cotton candy. And I was like, okay, like that's a cool idea. I could do that. I could stay in this job that I don't like, and once a month I could deliver cotton candy. Like, cool. Wow. Sounds good. And then I was like, yeah, or I could do more. Like once a month. What's once a month? I can deliver every weekend.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, so we decided to go for it. I talked to my wife, and I was like, hey, like, what do you think? I'm going to quit my job and do this.
Oh, wow. I feel like that must have been like a tough conversation, honestly.
It wasn't. Actually, she was like, I support you 100%.
Really?
Wow. Yeah, she was super supportive. She's like, I know that you hate your job, and I think we had just gotten married. So not a good idea, place to be in, like angry and newlywed. So
wait, when did this all start again? 2021?
2021.
2021. Yes. And you actually graduated from A&M 2020.
Yes.
Wow.
Got married December 2020.
Wait, when did you graduate? May 2020?
May 2020, graduate, engaged in June, married in December.
Oh my God.
Yes, and then April, quit my job and started a business.
Wait, April 2021?
21, yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd been working your job this entire time. I didn't.
No, I quit before I started. Yeah, not the ideal thing. I called my parents during the day, and they're like, "What are you not at work?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I quit, and I'm starting a cotton candy business." Needless to say, they weren't thrilled.
I feel like it's like a crazy set of sentences to hear. Like, I just quit my job for cotton candy.
Yeah, and obviously, I hadn't started the business.
Yeah.
This wasn't like, I was making tons of money, so I quit my job. No. This was, I have this idea So I bought a machine, and I built a website, and we launched it. And that day, KBTX reached out.
Oh. Wow.
And they're like, "Hey, would you like to be on the news today? So you have to be at the studio at 4 a.m. We're gonna do 4 live segments."
Oof.
And at that point, I spun 3
Yeah.
cones of cotton candy in my whole life, just 3. And I said, "Sure, love to be on the news. I'm not gonna pass it up. We'll be there at 4 a.m." So we went on live TV. I had no idea what I was doing. I had to teach, Fallon, the lady that was doing the segment, how to spin cotton candy.
Jimmy Fallon. I was like, wow.
No, not Jimmy Fallon. So we did these 4 live segments, and we got 8 orders rolled in that day.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. It took me 10 hours to fill those 8 orders.
Really?
It took forever, and it looked awful.
What's an entire order?
It was 3 bags of cotton candy and 2 glitter bombs.
Oh, okay.
It took. I didn't know how to fill bags. I didn't really know how to spin cotton candy.
Yeah.
It took me about 8 cones to fill a bag. It should take like 1 or 2.
Oh my god.
And the bags were super thin, so I basically had to make it. Put it in my car that the air conditioning was already on. I mean, April's hot here in Texas already as well.
Oh, yeah. That has a huge effect
so
on
like
cotton candy.
from the AC to the AC, get it there. Be like, you need to eat this because it's gonna disappear.
Oh my god.
Which was a big issue to overcome because it's not good if you need to eat it in like 10 minutes. We've since fixed it. Pretty much, in this heat, it's still a little issue. It's about 106 feels like out here right now, so it's hot. You got a fan, which helps.
I mean, I'm still sweating. I wore something dark, so I don't. Sweat
bad idea. But yeah, so it was kind of a crazy start for sure. And we've come a long way from there. I mean, one of the biggest things, one of the things I'm most proud of is definitely like our social media presence has grown.
Your TikTok's pretty big.
A lot.
And so is your Instagram too.
Yeah, it's getting there. So yeah, TikTok, I hit my 1 year of posting on June 5th. So in 1 year, I grew our TikTok channel probably around 410,000 followers.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty good.
That's amazing,
it's
actually.
pretty. I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm still waiting on that verification check mark, but we'll get there. But yeah, so it's a lot of what I do, and Instagram as well, and Pinterest. Dabbled in YouTube, but YouTube Shorts just don't hit the same. So I've kind of strayed away from there. I think my dreams of being a famous YouTuber aren't really gonna make it.
I mean, you focus in one area, and then
right. Well, maybe someday we'll transition. If I could have 500,000 followers on YouTube, I wouldn't have to make cotton candy ever again. I wish I could just support myself that way. Honestly,
I wish I had like a fan base. Be like, get him to 500. Like that'd be awesome. But.
Well, so I've told my fans that if I hit 1 million, I'm dyeing my hair cotton candy blue.
Really?
And I told my wife she's doing hers cotton candy pink, but we're still working on that.
You should do green. Be like Cosmo and Wanda. I feel like it'd be really cool.
It would be funnier.
Yeah.
Not our vibe, but
yeah. Okay. Well, you started.
Gotta heat that. What are we doing?
Yeah, we've got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So you started the summer of 2020, 2021?
21.
21. The year after you graduate. I always feel like
Correct.
That year's like one of the worst years in general for any post-grad. Like they just get a hit of reality. And
it was rough, especially into COVID.
Yeah.
So
into COVID, you just gotten married, and you're thinking about quitting your job.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any moment at that point that you're just like, this is a stupid idea, I shouldn't be doing this? Or were you just like head on, like stubborn as hell, just like wanting to do this?
Obviously, so like at the time, my wife didn't have like a super high paying job.
Oh, really?
Like she does now. So yeah, it was a little scary.
Yeah.
But like it never really it was never so bad to where like oh this was a huge mistake. So like it really went like pretty smooth.
You had like a steady
and we grew a lot, like honestly through like the local, like with some like one of our first events. So I think our actual first event was the grand opening of Kendra Scott.
Oh, wow.
They didn't even pay us to be there. They were like, hey, you want to come out and just give away free cotton candy? And we were like, yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you for recognizing us.
So it was actually really cool that almost a year later they opened their bigger store and they actually paid us this time to be there. So it's really like that's awesome, like a full circle moment. Like we made it, you know, like finally, like the first time around, like we like basically came for free to be like, thank you for having us out. And this time it was like, oh no, not this time. So it was cool to like have that moment for sure.
No, that's really awesome. Actually, I like that. Was it like a full year or just? It
was almost a year exactly. Yeah. So they did like a year pop up shop. It was probably our first event, and then one here at the local was probably our second event.
Hopefully we can have another podcast where we have a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But for these last few minutes, for a lot of people in their, I guess, rising journey from creatives to like entrepreneurs and small businesses, what is your best advice or the thing that you look back on that you said, or that you would say to yourself, I should have really done that first, or like I should really have focused there, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess one of the biggest things and a big mistake I made, like make sure you get all your permits in order. I didn't realize sales tax was like a monthly thing. I thought you paid it with income. Not the case. I was about a year delinquent on sales tax.
Oh my gosh.
It's been fixed, government. You know, it's paid.
Self-incriminating right now.
IRS.
I'm tired a little bit.
I'm always tired. But yeah, so get your permits in order. I would say, on a social media front, just do it. You know, so I
do it.
I started making TikTok videos, and I had no idea how to make videos. I wasn't a content creator. For those of you who don't know, I'm a math major, not considered a creative type. So like not like my thing, like, oh, really outgoing creative dude, you know? Like, no, not even a creative minor. No, econ. You know, it's all numbers, you know, no fun, no creativeness to it. And so I just went out and I was like, oh, this could be funny. And so I started posting, and I remember one of my videos got 5,000 views. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is insane.
Wait, it was a Cotton Candy one?
It was Cotton Candy Quest for Brown was the start of the channel.
Oh, wait, yeah, okay. I remember seeing those, actually.
Yeah, so it was just a random idea that I had, and like I just started making it, and people liked it, and so I just came up with new ideas. I think just don't be afraid to start, especially TikTok's a non-professional platform. It doesn't have to be perfectly edited. You don't have to say the perfect stuff. Like, just start posting, and you'll find your niche along the way. I think is probably some of the best advice I can give. Also, if you want to start a business, like, it's harder than it looks. You know, even cotton candy, like, it's tough. It's not that easy. So make sure that you're willing to do it. Look into it. Don't do what I did. Don't quit your job first. No regrets, but not recommended. So that would be my biggest piece of advice. Get your permits. Just do it. It's harder than it looks. Don't quit your job first.
And if you're going to do it, just stay committed.
And if you're really going to do it, make sure your wife has a job. You know, my boy Jack back here, he told me, you know what the difference is between an amateur musician and a professional one. He said the professional musician has a wife that works. And I was like, you nailed it.
Shout out, Jack.
Yeah.
All right, I won't take up too much more of your time here. Go on TikTok, Instagram, follow SOS Candy. Sam and Cassie are amazing people, and I love seeing them and talking to them. and their growth has been immense and amazing. So go ahead and follow them. If you have any other shout outs or anything, this would be the time.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I do appreciate it. I've always wanted to be on a podcast. You said I'd love to come back out when we have more time. There's a lot of banter I didn't get to have in here, a lot of rants, a lot of good stuff you're missing out on.
Honestly,
so we're gonna have to do a part 2.
I'm so scared that it just didn't record.
Yeah, I mean, if not, just call me up. We can figure it out. We could even Zoom it or something. I want to be on it. So
okay.
We're not recorded. We're still recording currently, but we'll have to have a part 2. That's my request. Shout out part 2.
Shout out to part 2.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to have a part 2 for everyone who I'm recording here, just so I can see like the beginning and then like the very end or like where they end up. I feel like it's really cool.
Same with you. I mean, you might not even have time for me. Back when you get bigger than me, Jed. We'll see if you still want me on.
Oh man, of course I want you on. 100%. The last podcast, I only had one mic, and now I have 2 mics.
2 mics.
Yeah,
it's a big upgrade. That's double the efficiency.
Sure.
We don't even have to share.
Yeah,
like the news.
We're just like passing it back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks for having me. Thanks for being part of this.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll just close it out here because I don't have an outro. At
looks like Jazz be your outro.
Also, it looks like it just stopped recording.
It just ended.
It just ended. So this didn't end though. So.
It was good.